Welcome to today's episode, where we dive into one of the most mysterious and enigmatic places in the American West, Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, located just outside of Ballard, Utah. Known for its chilling tales of paranormal activity, strange creatures, and unexplained phenomena, this 512-acre property has captivated the imagination of researchers, investigators, and thrill seekers for decades. From UFO sightings to cryptid encounters, the ranch has earned a reputation as a hotspot for some of the most bizarre occurrences ever documented. In this episode, we'll explore the history of Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, its connection to Native American legends, and the chilling events that continue to baffle those who dare to uncover its secrets. Buckle up, because this is one journey into the unknown you won't want to miss.
I'm Sammy.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are Spooky Sleuths.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So clearly we need a little disclaimer here. I'm sure you have heard of this ranch before. The name most people know it as, we're not going to use that term. Sammy, you want to explain why?
Because the term that most people use for this ranch and that the ranch is actually called can be disrespectful to Native American culture. And we don't want to do that. We want to be respectful of their culture, beliefs, and not use that term that can have a negative connotation.
So we're going to call it Flesh Pedestrian Ranch. Everybody good? Okay. Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, located in the Uinta Basin of northeastern Utah, is a sprawling property that seems, at first glance, to be just another piece of farmland, but it's anything but ordinary. The ranch sits in a remote area, as you would think.
Right.
Surrounded by high desert plains, rugged terrain, and the distant Uinta Mountains. The isolation of the ranch makes it the perfect place for the kind of mysterious occurrences that have come to define its reputation. For decades, those who have ventured into this area have reported unsettling phenomena that have earned the ranch its dark and mysterious moniker. It was in the 1990s when the ranch first gained widespread attention. Prior to that, the land had a history of agricultural use, but it wasn't until the Sherman family moved onto the ranch in 1994 that the world started to take notice. The Shermans, who had recently purchased the property, began experiencing unexplainable events almost immediately after moving in.
Oh, that's lovely.
So they didn't even have to, warm up to them.
Right.
They just hey, some new people. At first it was subtle, like strange lights in the sky, odd sounds at night, and mysterious creatures seen roaming around the property. But over time, the incidents grew more intense and more disturbing. By the time the Shermans sold the ranch in 96, so they only had it 2 years. They had witnessed unexplained occurrences like UFO sightings, cattle mutilations, and encounters with strange creatures, events that would lay the foundation for the ranch's growing reputation as a hotspot for the paranormal. To understand the strange happenings at Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, we must look back to the Native American tribes of the area, particularly the Ute tribe. The Utes have long been associated with the land surrounding Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, and their legends speak of a malevolent entity known as the Flesh Pedestrian. According to Ute folklore, this is a powerful witch or shaman who has turned to dark magic to gain the ability to shapeshift into animals. These creatures are believed to possess the ability to take on the form of any animal they choose, often for the purpose of causing harm.
Okay, so whenever there's these cow mutilations, these shape-shifting flesh pedestrians are turning into a cow and killing the animals.
Well, they're probably not turning into a cow. It's probably the animal mutilating the cow. It's a cow mutilation, so it'd be like the Flesh Pedestrian changing into a wolf and then mutilating a cow.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
It does. I thought you were just trying to do a little back and forth here, but No.
No, I thought they were turning into cows and killing cows. Whoops. Okay.
Okay. No. I mean, they could have. But I think that they generally...
You've seen the big horns on them things. They just go moo and ram into you.
I think they're like... Whenever I think of flesh pedestrians, I think of more like a wolvy creature.
Well, maybe you should limit their shape-shifting abilities.
Maybe.
Have more faith.
Natalie would be so upset with you right now. Flesh pedestrians are feared in Native American culture as they are seen as deeply evil. Those evil cows. That's why I giggled. Not that it's funny, but yep.
I'm sorry, but have you ever been chased by a cow?
I have. It is really not a good time.
So they are deeply evil. I haven't, but I knew that was a thing.
It is, especially if they don't want you around.
I haven't been close enough to a cow for it to chase me.
Where I used to live, there was a farm across the road, and me, Samantha, Amanda, we would all go over there and play and get into things we weren't supposed to, you know.
Yeah.
Amanda rode a donkey once. It was wild. Welcome to a West Virginia childhood. Anyways, back to the episode. As they are seen as deeply evil, using their powers to manipulate the natural world and prey on the vulnerable. To become a flesh pedestrian, one must commit a terrible crime, often a taboo or act of great evil, such as murdering a family member.
Okay.
Like, this act has to be evil. The flesh pedestrian legend is deeply tied to the land around the ranch. According to some sources, the Ute tribe has long avoided the area, fearing that the land is cursed and haunted by the spirits of those who have embraced dark magic.
That makes sense.
It all tracks. The name Flesh Pedestrian Ranch itself is said to have been given by the Utes.
Oh, okay.
Who warned outsiders to stay away from the property due to its association with these powerful and dangerous beings. So don't go there.
We don't mess with Native American stuff.
No, like...
People need to stop.
Like, as intrigued as I am, that is not an investigation I think that is anywhere on my list, really.
No. Have you ever seen a flesh pedestrian?
No.
Me either. And I don't want to. I'm scared enough of shadow people. I don't want to come in contact with a flesh pedestrian.
Yeah, no. So that's not on our to-do list, but we still wanted to tell you about it, and we wanted to learn ourselves. Many researchers and investigators believe that the strange phenomena occurring at Flesh Pedestrian Ranch may be licked?
Oh, please don't lick it.
No, don't do that. May be linked to the myth, which some even suggest that the ranch could be a hotspot for paranormal activity due to its supposed ties to ancient magic and spirits. Whether or not this is true, the legend of the Flesh Pedestrian adds a chilling layer of history and mystery to the site.
Yeah.
So, like, the site's already bad juju, and then you add this on top of it and people's beliefs on top of that. Like, it just gets deeper. Speaking of those evil cattle, one of the most famous early incidents of the Shermans was involving their cattle. The family discovered several of their cows mutilated in a manner that seemed to defy natural explanation.
So maybe it was a cow.
No, it wasn't. A cow was going to... Okay, the animals were found with their organs removed, their blood drained, and sometimes with strange, precise incisions on their bodies. What cow is going to do that to another cow?
They said it defied natural explanation.
Okay. These mutilations were reminiscent of cases that had been reported across the country, but the exact cause remained a mystery. The Sherman family also reported seeing large wolf-like creatures
That was a separate incident.
on the property that seemed impervious to bullets. In one instance, Terry Sherman fired at a massive wolf-like creature that appeared at the edge of his property but it simply walked off unharmed.
That's scary.
Yeah. In addition to the physical manifestations, the Shermans reported hearing strange sounds, like unexplained growls, knocking noises, and what sounded like voices calling to them. If the voices call to you, do not go to them.
Especially if they sound like you. Like, you don't want to follow a mimic.
The family also witnessed orbs of light in the sky and even strange anomalies in the sky that they believed to be UFOs.
I've seen a UFO. I believe them.
It was these experiences that ultimately drove them to leave the ranch. They sold the property in '96 to a wealthy businessman and UFO researcher named Robert Bigelow, who was the owner of the National Institute for Discovery of Science.
Robert Bigelow, male gigolo.
That's all I can think to. Bigelow had a strong interest in investigating the ranch's strange activity and was determined to uncover the source of the phenomena. So that makes more sense for him to own the ranch than an actual rancher to own the ranch.
Yeah.
When Robert took over Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, he brought in a team of scientists, engineers, and paranormal investigators to study the ranch's strange occurrences. I like that.
I would do that, though.
Yeah.
I would go there under those circumstances. I wouldn't go investigate just us, but with, like, scientists and stuff, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that was a really educated way to go about it. Like, you think it might be something scientific, like the actual
They're not
animals.
exploiting it.
Right. Engineers to check everything out, but you're not totally writing off the fact that it could just be paranormal. Like,
Right.
I think that says a lot about who he is as a person. I like it. This period, from '96 to the early 2000s, became known as the NIDS era. And it was during this time that some of the most extraordinary reports from the ranch were recorded. Which makes sense, because the NIDS team used high-tech equipment such as infrared cameras, EMF detectors, night vision goggles to capture and study the strange phenomena at the ranch. Despite their Despite their best efforts, however, they were unable to find any concrete explanations for the events they witnessed. Among the most bizarre incidents reported during this time were sightings of UFOs, unidentified flying objects, as well as the orbs of light that the Shermans had also mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact, southeastern Ohio at one point had so many UFO sightings reported that the FBI came in to investigate.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The more you know. The team also reported a variety of strange creature sightings, including Bigfoot-like beings and the aforementioned wolf creatures. One of the most bizarre occurrences involved the team absorbing a glowing orb in the sky that seemed to emit a strange humming sound. It appeared to follow a team member, and they later found strange electromagnetic disturbances in the area where the orb had been observed. Perhaps one of the most unnerving discoveries was the spike in electromagnetic fields around the ranch. These spikes were often associated with paranormal activity and were theorized to be linked to the appearance of UFOs or interdimensional entities.
I wonder if that's why, like during our Bel Air House episode, we had a lot of EMF activity, and there's a lot of UFO sightings in that area. I wonder if that could be. Maybe there was a UFO the night we were there.
Maybe.
I wish they would have abducted me.
Me too. I'm just kidding. Despite the NIDS team's best efforts, however, the ranch's phenomena remained largely unexplained, and Bigelow eventually sold the property in 2016.
He studied for a long time.
Yeah. Stayed longer than I figured they would.
Yeah.
In 2016, Flesh Pedestrian Ranch was sold to Brandon Fugal, a Utah-based real estate magnate. Fugal has since taken a more public-facing approach to the ranch, allowing a team of investigators and scientists to study the property under his ownership. This new era has brought the ranch back into the spotlight, thanks in part to the History Channel series, The Secret of Flesh Pedestrian Ranch, which documents the ongoing investigations. Fugal has assembled a team of experts, including scientists, engineers, and UFO researchers to study the property. They used advanced technology to monitor for electromagnetic anomalies, unusual weather patterns, and any other unexplained phenomena. The team has reported continuing strange events, including unexplained lights in the skies, mysterious sounds, and more sightings of cryptid-like creatures. Additionally, the ranch's electromagnetic fields remain unusually active, continuing the pattern observed during the NIDS era. So that hasn't stopped.
Right.
So what is happening at Flesh Pedestrian Ranch today? The phenomena continues to baffle investigators, with many wondering if the strange occurrences are tied to some kind of interdimensional portal or extraterrestrial activity. Some believe the ranch is a hotspot for UFO sightings and alien encounters. If it weren't for the Flesh Pedestrians, I would absolutely want to go check it out for myself.
Me too. I want to go through the portal. I want to see what the other side is like.
You are a very strange human.
I know.
Others think the area could be a portal between dimensions, where strange beings, both human and non-human, can cross between realities.
If I was abducted by aliens, would you believe me?
Probably, because you want to be so bad.
And you know I can't lie.
Right. Despite all of these theories, the truth about Flesh Pedestrian Ranch remains elusive. What is certain is that the ranch continues to be a paranormal hotspot, and the mysteries surrounding it remain unsolved. It's captured the imagination of researchers, investigators, and the public for decades. Whether the phenomena occurring on the ranch are the result of extraterrestrial visitors, ancient Native American curses, or interdimensional rifts, one thing is clear. The ranch is a place of complete unexplained mystery.
Absolutely.
From cattle mutilations
By other cattle.
From cattle mutilations to UFO sightings and cryptid encounters, the events at Flesh Pedestrian Ranch continue to defy logical explanation. As investigations continue, we can only wonder what secrets the land might still be hiding.
That's crazy. I would like to go to Flesh Pedestrian Ranch without the Flesh Pedestrians.
Right. And if I were to go, it would be in a tourist situation. I do not think I would want to investigate there, just because the bad juju on bad juju on bad juju.
Yeah, I think it's it can be done tastefully, but I think a lot of people that I've seen go there do it disrespectfully.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
I'm not saying we don't possess the ability to do so. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It's almost like if a Wendigo was like spotted around here.
Is that not the same thing? No. I mean, I know it's not the same thing. They're windy boys, though.
I mean, Wendigos are Wendigos. That was the third time.
It was. What do you guys think? Have you ever been to this ranch? Do you have any interest in this ranch? Have you ever seen a Flesh Pedestrian?
If you have seen a Flesh Pedestrian, please call us immediately.
Or at least leave us a comment and we'll reach out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. If you made it this far to the video, leave a wolf emoji in our comments.
Or a cow. Team wolf or team cow.
Yeah. Team wolf or team cow. Gosh, this is like Edward and Jacob all over again.
Make sure you head over to TikTok and Instagram at Spooky Sleuths Pod. Check us out there. We're very active over on the TikToks.
And if you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, make sure you leave us a rate and review. And on Spotify, you can even leave us a comment now. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And on that note, stay spooky, friends.